All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the PokerStrategy.com League, hosted by Poker Strategy, with the best tools needed for poker play, also with money for free. So check it out if you guys get a chance. I definitely did. I like the website and the tools that they give you to become a better poker player. Not only, you got to exercise yourself mentally, man. Can't just do StarCraft. Cross training, mental cross training. Some people play the violin, other players play poker, so, get yourself mentally, trained. So, here we go, guys. Starting over here at the bottom right side of the map, representing Carrotin Gaming, we got the Blue Terran Lucifron. Check it out. Look at me. I'm StarTale Legend. Okay, enough of that. Over at the top left side of the map, representing Gamers League, we got the Red Zerg Snute. So here we go, guys. Game number 7. Score at the moment is, if you guys are just tuning in, 4-2 in favor of Snute. This is a 10-game series. I'm fairly sure this is not a best of 10. So basically, regardless, we will go to a few more games after this as well. Lucifron able to take actually the last 2 games, doing a great job holding off a lot of aggression from Snute. Snute on Daybreak went for a little bit of a Ling Bailing all in, and fortunately for Lucifron, he had a great Hellion count, able to just hold off pressure, transition into mech, and of course, unfortunately, Snute was sitting on 2 base of 14 minutes. Definitely a position you don't want to be as a Zerg player. And last game, of course, holding off another Ling Roach aggression placed by Snute, and then basically countering him with a Marauder Hellion Banshee all in, with a little bit of a choo-choo train, a little bit of showing his Nama side, if you want to call it. So here we go, a little bit of a late pool, 16 pool by Snute, going a little bit more for an economic style this game, it looks like. Meanwhile, Lucifron looking to probably and potentially 1-rax expand, or, oh, look at this, trying to actually fake Snute out at the moment. Again, this is not one of those things where Lucifron's actually going to do a lot of damage, or going to be able to do a lot of damage. Just basically taking out some of the mining time from the Zerg, lose the SCV, and again, if Snute's aware, he should realize that this is definitely not a 2-rax aggression like you would typically see. Lucifron taking his expansion with the 1-rax expand. Though, very nice by Lucifron. Oh, not going to hold tower. Actually going to go in there and try to put on a little bit of pressure on his Zerg opponent. And this is just going to be really pesky because the queens are not out. He's droning up. No lings are going to pop out. So this Marine's just going to be a pass. Takes a pot shot, sees that there's the hatch up and running, and just going to go back home. Don't want to lose any Marines just like that for free in case the firstlings were going to pop out. They would be able to just basically chase them down. Ling speed without speed is still faster than the Marines, if you guys were unaware. Да, сейчас, секунду, просто по-русскому. Да, у меня сейчас утро. У меня типа 12 часов чуть-чуть. Ну, 12:30 чем-то, это вот где я сейчас. So, as we look and see at the moment, basically Lucifron is going to be taking a very standard opening. Nothing too out of the ordinary. This is very 1-rax expand-esque. He's got the bunker up, the orbital getting built. He's going to have the Hellions popping out, and I wonder if he's going to go into Banshee as well. And again, this is really something just very interesting to note, that for a really long time, Terrans were opening up 1-rax expand, or they were going Hellion first into Command Center. So, just very interesting to know how the game has kind of changed and how the game's metagame is where it is right now. And again, there we go. There we go. We see the starport is going down, and this is something some of the Prime players made very popular in IPL, actually, back in April, and some of the GSL matches as well. Where they basically open up with Reactor Hellion. They go 1-rax expand into Reactor Hellions, followed up by Starport, potentially with Cloak Banshees as well. So, very strong opener. Why, you ask? Because Banshees are flying units. The only really anti-air defense for a Zerg player are Queens and Spore Crawlers that are really utilized in the game. Rarely do you ever see where Hydras are really a case for defense in the early game, and it's just not an investment typically a Zerg wants to go for. The nice thing, though, for a Zerg right now with the new Queen buff as of the past few months Definitely Zergs like to put out a few more queens, so they actually have a decent defense if they pop out an Overlord and go into lair within a normal amount of time. So right now, Lucifron checking out, rolling around with the Hellions and seeing what's going on, and realize, hey, there's a few queens out, probably third hatch is up. And this is basically, out of all the games that have happened today, this is by far the most standard game. I'm in almost utter complete shock that Snute is not putting on a lot of aggression on Lucifron, and Lucifron's actually going to be putting on a lot of aggression, I feel like, on Snute. So here we go. Lucifron getting the cloak upgrade. Not adding any more Hellions, very interesting decision. Actually, just going to go right away, try to grab his third, put it into position. Oh, trying to get a nice little shot on the queen, bringing it down to yellow health. But again, with the amount of queens he does have out for Snute, he should be able to transfuse, won't lose a lot. And ooh, this is really nice. Going to be able to roast some of the larva, and oh, that is just something rough. You hate to see as a Zerg watch your larva just get completely roasted. Overseer getting finished up, so basically a Cloak Banshee will be not worthless, but kind of not worth its weight because there's just so many queens, and the anti-air defense should be there. Putting up a couple Spore Crawlers that just finished up. Spire already underway. And this is very interesting to watch because Lucifron is literally living up to this like Terran style, Terran mentality. He's adding more barracks, and the more I watch from European Terrans, the more I'm just getting to see that these guys love to play bio tank, bio styles. And it's very different from some of the American players and some of the Korean players. American players definitely like to play mech, and especially the Korean players as well versus Zerg. Well, again, if you're not Marine King, most of the Korean players love to play mech. So very interesting to note that just these Terrans really adore this type of style versus the typical metagame and the stronger shift in the game right now. Overall, on the other side, though, watching Snute playing very Yuta or Spire heavy. Most of his builds, most of these games, we've seen Spire pop out, so very interesting decisions by him. Overseer's not in place at the moment. He's got a lot of queens. Check that out, man. Look at that. 7 queens already out on the map. 3 hatches, 7 queens. Crazy stuff. On the backside over here at the bottom left, we see Snute putting on a little bit of link pressure, able to force a lift out of Lucifron. Покомменте одну игру по-русскому. Нет, я не могу, я извиняюсь, не дают мне. Если вы хотите, Харлинг, смотри. Он русский комменты, я американец. Я сегодня американец, я не русский. And oh, this actually might be a nice little catch for Snute if Lucifron doesn't pay attention. And there we go, able to get that mini screen pop out and sees that his Hellions were under attack. And finally needs to just take his third base, getting the Hellions back, trying to roast the Link, getting away, and oh, can he take the... Oh, no, he's not able to, Snute! What a nice little mini win for him, but Lucifron finally lands the thing. Gonna have to distance mine just a tiny bit longer. That extra just point, whatever of a second he's gonna mine. And you can see right now, it takes for Take TV says, it's just like, wow, I can't believe that just happened. That's one of those things that's a little funny to watch. But looking at seeing a lot of the Hellions are alive right now, I would suggest for Lucifron right now to repair those. Some of those are really in red and orange HP range, and Lucifron's basically going to go into a macro game, getting a lot of his bio army, getting the first few tanks out as well, getting in position, and oh, what a nice scout right now for Lucifron. Sees that there's a 4 base, but just going to go run by right now into the third. What is ready there? Not a lot. Some Hellions are in place, but can he just focus down some of these drones, and eventually all these Hellions will get cleaned up. Good damage on some of the Lings. Let's check out what he was able to kill. A total of 14 workers. I would actually assume maybe about 7 to 8 at most, because most of the damage... Most of that worker count that was killed were from those couple Banshees over here in the main base. So here we go. Right now, Snute doing a great job, being very active on the map, trying to go for a counterattack, but Lucifron is ready with 4 tanks sieged up, plus a good chunk of Marine Marauder with medevac combination. So, again, this is one of those things I really worry about watching Lucifron right now and how he's played today. Once he goes into this macro mode, he doesn't get out of it really. He just stays in the passive turtling macro mode. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lucifron not only puts aggression but techs up. Getting a Bailing Nest right now. I do not see an infestation pit anywhere, so Looks like he's going to be going with this Lucifron style, going to try to put a lot of pressure with Roach Ling Bane, but he needs the actual Ling Bane combo before he actually does anything. So a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of a throwaway by Snute. Lots of units were just killed right there, as we do see. Lucifron has already killed 87, and again, guys, this is a Zerg. Lings are very cheap, fairly cost-effective units for them, but when you keep throwing them away over and over and again and don't really get efficient trades against the Terran player does get a nice little lead. So here we go, Snute going for the attack right now. Looks like he's moving out, though he needs to bring his tanks along. Hey, I'll bring those to the party, man. Those are great party units. Going to try to take the 4th base as well. Sees that there's no Overlord. Sees that there's no Ling in place. No Burr Ling as well. So for the moment, Snute will not know about that 4th. And you know what else Snute will not know about until all this damage starts coming to him is that there's pressure on the 4th base right now. 4 tanks sieged up, 5 and 6 getting sieged up as well, and this is just going to be a very hard engagement for Snute to take. So what is Snute going to do? He's just going to go for the run by right now as best as possible, and look at this. He's got a lot of roaches, lots of lings. This should be able to do a lot of damage, but the trade should go in favor of Lucifron right now. He is not supply block. He will lose quite a bit of economy. Trying to save as many SCVs as possible. I definitely like this. Should be able to bring them back without a problem. Now, what's going to happen here, if he is careful, he actually should be able to get this planetary up, and that should be able to help take out some of the lings and roaches if they go and attack them. But it looks like he realized he's not going to have an opportunity to do that. Cancels the planetary, lifts up, and tries to float away. Corruptor should be able to pick that up. But again, this is what I was talking about, the efficient trading for Lucifron. He's got medevacs, he's got so many tanks attacking, but kind of slow pushing his way up. Spores are getting placed back down, but not before they're going to get taken out. Not going to be able to get any shots on the medevacs either. So here we go. Lucifron going to have to defend this. Tanks are doing a great job, and Lucifron not exactly paying attention, but looks like he's going to be able to blow through these roaches with the stem marines and tanks as well. With the units that he does have, he should be able to knock off this natural hatch, and that's basically going to spell GG for Snute. Supply just completely falling apart for him, 59 to 129. And game number 3 going to Lucifron, man. Look at Lucifron kicking into gear right now, taking the last 3 games, making a great